right, well, let's go and jump into our next review. We're going to talk about a little thing called Cowboy Bebop that debuted on Netflix too. So, Arcane, you can see on Netflix. You can see Cowboy Bebop on Netflix as well. Let's go ahead and start off with you, Jason, about Cowboy Bebop, the live action Netflix show.
I'm gonna try to do a pun here, do a Jason style pun, and call this is more like cowboy current country music because it's so goddamn boring.
Fuck, do we need a summary for this one, or we think people will figure this one out
I
too?
well, a lot of our viewers are probably new to the genre, so let's do you go ahead and do a summary there,
Okay.
Jason.
A ragtag crew of bounty hunters chases down the galaxy's most dangerous criminals. They'll save the world for the right price. They'll save the world for the right price. A ragtag crew of bounty hunters chase down the most dangerous criminals, and they will save the world for the right price. You see how I did the run on over and over again because it's going to play into a theme. Go on, Jason. All
So
right,
I
let's
had a
talk some
lot of
Cowboy
hope for this
Bebop.
show. I liked the initial kind of like promotional material they dropped for this. John Cho looks like Spike if Spike had let himself go for 40 years. I like the dude they got to play Jet Black. People were up in arms that they got a black dude to play Jet Black. But I think probably that he is probably to me, and you guys may disagree, is probably the strongest part of this whole entire show. Uh, but this whole thing, it does not work at all. It just doesn't work. The action is too slow. It looks definitely choreographed, and it's choreographed, but it looks like
Mm-hmm.
he's going through the steps that they told him to do, and they probably just told him to do it that day, rather than him practicing it over and over again. In the original Cowboy Bebop, one of the things that I loved about the show is the animation was so fluid. The way that Spike would fight was so fluid for a TV show that you could get the feel that he's not only is he improvising to the jazz theme, but he's also fighting that Jeet Kune Do style of fighting that since he
Mm-hmm.
was based off of Bruce Lee, because most Asian guys are based off of Bruce Lee and Big Sing. But in this, it looks like uh, they don't have the tone down correctly. They play it too hammy, which there's a lot of ham in Cowboy Bebop, but this one they just like turn it up another notch to make it like less grounded than the original anime should be. Um, yeah, I can only get through 5 episodes of this before I was like, I'm just done. It's just like it just doesn't really hold the way that Cowboy Bebop the anime held you. Like this doesn't
Mm-hmm.
wasn't interesting enough for me. Like the other costumes, the wigs, like what Vicious's wig was terrible. He
Oh,
looks horrible.
yeah.
Uh there's some cool things. Like I like how bloody and violent it was, but it's just like it doesn't really click on all the levels. And I know they're trying to like you know modernize this story, but it just falls short. As I said, and I will say, I said in the pre-show roll. I'll say it here for the live show. Like when you're driving with your mom, you're like, "Yo, mom, can we stop for Cowboy Bebop?" She says, "We got Cowboy Bebop at home." This is Cowboy Bebop at home. It's the Kirkland brand of Cowboy Bebop. It's fucking,
Not great.
it's not
for,
what you're used
for
to. And
for our non-poor audience, it is a situation where you're driving and go, "Mommy, can we stop at McDonald's?" And they go, "Nah, we got McDonald's at home. I can make you a burger." And she make a burger, and then she put it on
just
regular white
frozen.
bread, and then
Yeah.
she hand it to you and be like, "Here you go,
And here's
McDonald's
some
burger."
government cheese, and we don't got no lettuce or tomato. There you
Yeah, and you
go.
be like, "This don't taste like McDonald's burger," and she be like, "You better shut up, eat that
Shut up
burger."
and eat it.
That. Sorry,
Yeah,
continue.
it's
I just
just
wanted to fill
it
people in.
doesn't. I mean, like this is probably the problem with a lot of remakes and reboots. It just doesn't hit the same levels as the original stuff does. And I'm glad they tried to do it, but it's just not all there. It's just not all put together as correctly as it should have. And that to me is a huge disappointment. And John Cho looks fucking old in this shit. He should have done this
Yeah,
shit back in Harold and Kumar. He just looks old. So
absolutely.
that's my review.
All right. Well, let's jump into a quick break. All right, we're back for this. We're reviewing now Cowboy Bebop on Netflix, a live action show. I was kind of dive right into it, and then we'll go to Jaren. Um, got the Bebop, but I like the fun of a cowboy. I admit I don't remember Cowboy Bebop the anime as greatly as fondly as everybody else does or claims they do. So I was welcome to go into this viewing kind of with knowing the source material, but not being the ultra fan of the source material. And I would say this, man, it's a tough slog through the first 3 episodes. I do think after the first 3 episodes, you get kind of used to the tone. I don't know, is it because the mediocrity just starts running over you and that you just be like, oh, okay, this is what it is, and you start enjoying it? Or is it just because at this point you've given up at the episode 3, and it's just, I'll just take whatever they throw at you? The tone from the clips in the trailers didn't even feel like that was the tone of what this movie was. Like, the clips in the trailer made it feel like it was going to be something imaginative and even kind of out there, but it's going to be like, hey, like, see how this works. I liken this to, and when I say positive and negatively, some people think of it negatively no matter what I'm going to say on this one. I liken it to Speed Racer, that they made, the Speed Racer movie. That movie had a lot of stuff going on with it, but at the end of the day, the movie was fun. Even if it sucked, it still at the end of the day was fun. The races were fun. The stupidity, the over-the-topness was fun. It's just it's a system of if this is something of your preference. Cowboy Bebop isn't fun. It tries, like you said, it's over the top, but it looks ho-hum. It looks generic. And if you're going to do this over the top feel and vibe to it, make the world kind of over the top and feel and look over the top. Instead, it looked like crap. And then you put these people in these scenes that are supposed to pop, but everything behind them looks drab and boring. So I didn't think that was good. We already talked about the action. The worst part about the action in Cowboy Bebop isn't just that it looks overly choreographed. That's not the worst part, guys, because I agree it does, but these guys aren't action stars, so I'm not expecting them to spend 3 months learning how to do one fight scene like Keanu Reeves. I understand they got to get down to. The problem with the fight scenes isn't that it looks choreographed. The problem with the fight scene is that the music in Cowboy Bebop and the fight scenes were like one and the same. It felt like whatever was you were listening to is also what you were seeing displayed by the fight scenes on the screen. This live action, yeah, it's music and jazz and blues in here, but ain't a goddamn person fighting or dancing to the beat. It's just motherfuckers like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, put my hand up, block, blah, blah, blah. Like nothing, it didn't give the emphasis. Like it didn't get like a dope ass, saxophone solo in the show was followed up with Spike like putting the hands on somebody, like multiple combos. This was just like bomb ass saxophone solo. Maybe he does a funny quip. Like it just, that's what I think the fight scenes missed. It missed that it had any energy to it, that it had any kind of correlation with what we've come to know from the anime. And can we do this? Can we just talk about the biggest loser in this whole series is Vicious? Vicious is terrible.
Yeah.
I wish you just didn't even put him in this series.
Straight
You should have
garbage.
just put him in it. Yeah, just take him out of here. It's dumb. And then I did think an interesting thing about Faye. Faye's annoying as hell in this, but I feel like when she joined the team, it got a little more exciting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Spike and Jet Black, all they did was over-explain their whole time. Yeah. All they did was over-explain. Like every time they were in the scene together, Jet Black and Spike, it was a whole bunch of just over-explaining. When Faye got there, because they weren't letting her in on the jokes, it was less explaining and more doing, which I was like, oh, thank God. Right. So it just, I'm just going to say, it's a tough ask to tell somebody to sit through 3 hours just to get to a point where you may possibly start liking the show more. This did feel like a passion project for everybody involved. The problem is that did not translate over onto the screen at all. It didn't feel like anything about this was passionate. It didn't feel like anything about this was trying to be something more than just, hey, remember that from the anime? Ha 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 ha. Hey, remember that from the anime? Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, remember that thing from the anime? But now we're going to do that, but have a different conversation about it. Ha 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 ha. And it was like, no, I'm not laughing at this. I'm just annoyed that you're fucking up something that was just good already. So, yeah, I got no more to say about
bringing
that.
me down, Bruce.
What do you got, Jaron, on Cowboy Bebop?
It's funny. Listening to your review, it occurs to me that this series would have benefited exceptionally from Edgar Wright's touch.
He probably would have been a good person to do this because he would have blended the action with the music, and it would have been great.
Action with the music, and also the action would have been incredibly well shot.
And they would have shot around the people's shortcomings.
Exactly. He Edgar Wright can make that Scott Pilgrim look like he can fight Captain America. in a believable way. If you can do that, you can do anything. So the first episode is almost beat for beat recreation of the first episode of the series.
Except for like 20 minutes longer.
Right. Just it's slower. I really enjoyed Jet too. I think he was. I mean, when I first saw the pictures, I was like, oh, they made him black. And then I thought about the anime, and even though he's
not black
in the anime, he's definitely like black in the anime. You know what I mean? Like
he's not anime black, but he's like he's black.
Please go on, Jan. What does that mean?
Yeah, he was.
Well, you people have these mannerisms.
He was definitely holding that shit together, and was always the more cautious approacher to things. So yeah, that's what I mean by that. If I have to like lay it out, but no, the ship shots, the visual effects, like this felt lazy. This felt like some, people that just, I have to do a thing to get through my 8-hour day, and I'll do it. And I'm not going to put any imagination, love, or effort into it. It's funny because it's literally the polar opposite of something we just talked about. If they had left the original series behind a bit more and done more, I don't know, like, I mean, I made the comment in our group chat that Firefly had laid out a roadmap for them as far as the approach. And all they had to do was kind of follow that, but then tell their own stories in it, like establish the characters, get some good quips in there, create something dangerous that will, or multiple dangerous things like Reavers and the Alliance, and then follow these poor saps that are just trying to make a buck to pay for the fuel cells. And let's go. Like you could have a long lasting series. You could take Netflix not canceling you or airing your shit out of order and just do it. And with a beloved named franchise behind it, like you got everything you need there. And they just I felt like this was a squandered approach, and it sucks. And it was misdirected. And if you knew that there was a shortcoming in your actor's ability to be action focused, then you needed to, when I say it was a shortcoming on the directors, they needed to understand that and get a better director, because you can fix that. You can make somebody that isn't good at fighting look like they're good at fighting if you know how to shoot action. And this person did not. So,
or you just force that actor to do 40 hours of Jeet Kune Do training for the next 7 months.
Put them in that fucking MCU training camp. Let's go. Get the
abs. Like, I got my kids. I got to go see them at night. I got to be off at this work at 6 o'clock.
All right. Go ahead, Jason. What is your rating on Cowboy Bebop?
Nostalgia factor, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. If you want something that is like this but better, go watch Space Sweepers. It's on Netflix too. Or watch the original Cowboy Bebop. It's also on Netflix as well.
Or Firefly.
Or Farscape.
Okay. I'm gonna give this a 2. I mean, if you're a space cowboy, you could probably stomach this, but if you're not, just don't worry about it. You can move it. It's not to ask somebody to go through 3 episodes and then say maybe you'll like it after then. So I'm good. I'll give it a 2 though. What about you, Jan?
I'm giving it. I'm gonna give it 2.5 just because of Jet.
Okay,
that's awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and it's the section that we all love the most. We have questions. So the first question we have on here is, Jaren, would you date Faye?
Oh, 100, yeah.
Of course.
Honestly, the still images did little to sell her, but I enjoyed her character when you actually got to meet her. I thought she was fun. I thought she was
hot water.
Yeah, I thought she was closer to. By the way, it's loaded questions this week.
I mean, that was a fair enough question. I mean, I would not date her because I mean, she seems to be a very scrupulous, moral young lady. So
she seems emotionally unstable.
Yeah, a lot.
Faye Valentine,
which is right up Jared's alley.
Yep. So make sure you hear this one correctly, because these 2 questions are going to feel similar, but they're different. Better team or crew? the Bebop, Serenity, or Planet Express?
Okay.
Better
Good
team
one, huh?
or crew?
Yeah.
Better team,
Serenity is going to sit on top.
Serenity.
Yeah.
Better
'Cause Bender-
crew, Futurama.
Yeah, Bender
Planet
was
Express.
always operating against the status quo and was there to fuck shit up. So
Yeah, Bender was the agent of chaos.
Yeah, an argument can be made for Jane doing something similar, but no, I think it sits Serenity, Futurama, and then somewhere very far down.
So, look, and I understand that is the choice you're making, and I understand because how writing goes. We do realize that the Serenity crew had the most internal drama than all of the other crews, right?
Yeah, better team.
Oh, okay. As long as we
But not
just
a
agree
better
that they had
crew.
the most problems.
But when it came to the fight, they all fucking shows up. They all showed up.
They were more of
so
a
does everybody on the
family than a
Bebop.
team.
Yeah, they were.
But whereas Futurama's more of a, I mean, they're kind of a family too, but they're more of a,
Sort of,
you know,
yeah.
they got their jobs done.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one is better ship, the Bebop, Serenity, or the Planet Express ship. Better ship.
Can I say the Starship Enterprise?
Yeah.
No, that's not a choice.
I think I would have more fun hanging out on the Bebop because it looks like it's more comfortable.
Yeah, it does. It's definitely got living quarters everywhere.
They got a couch in there and stuff. So
Yeah.
I would say the Bebop is probably just more comfortable of a ship.
Yeah.
Huh? You guys aren't taking. I thought you guys would take Futurama because I mean it can time travel. It can. I mean that ship down there can do anything now. It's a MacGuffin.
It's a MacGuffin ship.
Yeah.
But also the life expectancy of the crew of the future of Futurama is not as good.
Yeah, but the Bebop,
Touché.
you know where's lacking. It did have a Spike ship, but it didn't have any Scooty Puff 9000s or Scooty Puff Seniors or Scooty Puff Juniors.
Scooty Puff Senior. Thank you, Nibbler, for making it
Facts.
Scooty Puff Senior.
Facts.